Am I audible and visible? Oh, sorry for some technical issues. Hello friends, welcome you all at Gradeup. This is me, Salik, and I hope that my voice is visible and audible. Okay, so let's start. In this video, we'll be having a daily current affairs class as scheduled. So today also we'll be having some, you can see MCQ based current affairs question of yesterday and day before yesterday. Okay, so let's start the session. The question number 1 says, central government has decided to celebrate Tika Utsav from. Okay, and your options are 10th to 14th April, 11th to 14th April, 12th to 14th April, and day 9th to 14th April. So the correct answer to this question is B, 11th to 14th April. You can see this article, Tika Utsav from 11th to 14th April to vaccinate as many as possible, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Okay, so this Tika Utsav means you can say vaccination drive to vaccinate as much as people as possible. And we are talking about COVID-19 vaccine. Okay, right? Now, there are various vaccines of COVID-19. Two important ones are Covishield and Covaxin. I hope you are aware of these two important vaccines that are available in India. Okay. Now, let's move on to the second question. And the second question says, Natanz is a famous nuclear site of which country? Okay. And your options are A, Israel, B, Iran, C, Pakistan, and D, North Korea. Yes, Amritansh Srivastav, you are most welcome here. So please answer this question. And why I'm talking about Natanz, because it was in news recently. In fact, if you have read today's newspaper only, this Natanz was talked about. And the answer to this question is B. B is the right answer. Why Natanz is in news? Because what happened was, in fact, 2-3 days back, there was news. Iran blames Israel for sabotage at Natanz nuclear site, and this is dated April 12, 2021. Actually, this you can say a cyber attack happened at Natanz nuclear facility. Actually, nuclear facility, okay, which is in Iran. Okay, and you can see this article from Jerusalem Post also. So initially, the Iran had said that it is because of the Israel had done it. And in the Jerusalem Post, there is an article, Mossad behind cyber attack on Iran's Natanz nuclear facility. So Mossad is a, you can say, intelligence agency of Israel. So this is an article from, you can say, Jerusalem Post. So what we have to know is what is Natanz and where is Natanz nuclear facility. Okay, and because this was it is in news, you must be knowing where exactly it is. Now, you can see here, this is our India, and if we go west, we'll find Pakistan, then Afghanistan, and there is a country called as Iran. And here on the red, you can see this is a place of Natanz nuclear facility. Okay. Now, move on to the third question. And the third question says, which Arab country has recently named its first female astronaut? Okay, and your options are UAE, B, Saudi Arabia, C, Kuwait, and D, Qatar. So the correct answer to this question is A, United Arab Emirates. Okay, you can see this article from The Hindu dated 10th April, and it says UAE names its first female astronaut. Her name is Noura Al Matrushi. Okay, so please remember her name. Also, maybe in some exam they may ask her the name, that who is this lady Noura Al Matrushi, because she was in news. So that is why it becomes important. Now, where is UAE? If this is India, if you go west, we find this country, this triangular region. This is called as UAE, United Arab Emirates. Okay, is it clear? Now, let's move on further. The question number 4 says, And it is also, I think, important, which says La Soufriere, a volcano, has recently erupted. It lies in. Okay, so you have to tell that a volcano has recently erupted in last yesterday or day before yesterday only, and you have to tell where it is located. And your options are Indonesia, Japan, Caribbean islands, and D, France. So the correct answer is C. C is the right answer. Okay, so what is Caribbean islands? So West Indies islands are generally called as West Caribbean islands also. Okay. Now, you can see here, volcano erupts in Saint Vincent and Grenadines, thousands forced to evacuate. Okay, and the name of this volcano is La Soufriere volcano in the southern Caribbean nation. Okay, and this is the name of an island nation, Saint Vincent and Grenadines. Please remember, the Caribbean islands are a group of islands. Okay, so it comprises of different nations actually. So whenever we say West Indies cricket team has people from different countries actually. For example, there is called as Trinidad and Tobago, from where a very famous cricketer was there called Brandara. Similarly, there is an island called as Jamaica. Okay, from where I guess Chris Gale is from there only. So West Indies or Caribbean islands comprises of different nations, different island nations, and this island is Saint Vincent and Grenadines. Okay. Now this is our India, and if we go west of India, here you can find this question mark. This is the place where the volcano has happened. You can see here I have zoomed it further. These regions are called as West Indies Island or Caribbean Island. Okay, West Indies Islands. Okay. Okay. So, for example, you can find Barbados, Grenada, Trinidad, and Tobago, and here has you can see the question mark is where the volcano has erupted. Okay. Saint Lucia, Dominica, and all that, various other countries, Antigua and Barbuda. Okay, so let's see in the you can see satellite map where exactly it is. So this is the volcano that has recently got erupted actually. So and in fact, it is an active volcano where you can say these things do happen time and again. Okay. Now let's move further to the fifth question. And the fifth question says, Supreme Court has recently said adults are free to choose their religion. Adults means a person above 18 years of age. Okay. Which article of the Indian Constitution gives the people a right to freely choose one's religion? So, since this topic was in news, in fact, in today and yesterday's newspaper also, it becomes important to know which article talks about it. And your options are Article 25, 26, 24, and 23. And I hope if you have even a basic idea, you can answer it very easily. And the answer is A, Article 25. You can see this article from the Hindu dated 9th April. People are free to choose their religion, says Supreme Court. Okay, clear? Now, this is an Article 25. I'll not be reading the entire article for you. You can go and Google search later on. But the first line, freedom of conscience and freedom and free profession, practice and propagation of religion. Okay, and this says that subject to public order, morality and health, all persons are equally entitled to freedom of conscience and right to freely profess, practice and propagate any religion. Okay, clear? Now, let's move on to the sixth question. And the sixth question says, who has taken over the chairmanship of Airports Authority of India? Okay, and this is the logo of AAI. And your options are Sanjeev Kumar, Sanjay Kumar, Arvind Kumar, and Arun Kumar. So the correct answer to this question is Sanjeev Kumar is the right answer. You can see this article from Free Press Journal dated April 12, 2021. It says Sanjeev Kumar takes over as chairman of Airports Authority of India. Now, moving on to the question number 7. And the question number 7 says, which country has recently banned travelers from India, including its own citizens due to COVID-19 surge. So since we are witnessing the rise in COVID-19 in India, that country has uh, banned people coming from India. Okay, and your options are Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and England. Okay, and the right answer to this question is B, New Zealand. Okay, you can see this article from Indian Express. The New Zealand bans travelers from India. Will other countries follow? Okay, is it clear? Now, moving on to the eighth question. And the eighth question says, which state government has given age relaxation to EWS category people? So what is EWS? EWS stands for economically weaker section of people. Okay. So EWS people are from the general category only. They were earlier part of general category. From that general category, 10% has been reserved for EWS, and this was happened I think 2 years back only in 2019. Okay, so EWS reservation was given only for 10%. I mean there was only 10% reservation. There was no age relaxation as such. Like for example, in case of OBC, SC, ST, the government gives some age relaxation in some different examination. They give you will have more attempts, or you'll be your age limit will be higher. But one state government has increased the age relaxation even in case of EWS category. And the correct answer to this question is A. Rajasthan is the right answer. You can see this article from 8 April, The Hindu. Age relaxation for EWS candidate in Rajasthan. Okay. Now let's move on to the ninth question. And the ninth question says, which state government has chosen Sonu Sood as brand ambassador of COVID-19 vaccination drive? And your options are Rajasthan, Gujarat, Punjab, Haryana. Okay. And I hope you are aware of Sonu Sood. He became very famous last year during lockdown by helping the migrants. So the correct answer to this question is C, Punjab. Okay. Now, you can see this article. This is an image with the Punjab Chief Minister Captain Amrinder Singh, dated 12th April 2021. The Hindustan Times article says Sonu Sood is Punjab's brand ambassador for COVID-19 vaccination. Okay. Now, let's move on to the 10th question. And the 10th question says, Union Minister of Education Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank presented Leelavati Awards 2020 on women empowerment. The award was instituted by which entity? And your options are Niti Aayog, NCERT, UGC, AICT, and NCTE. So you have to answer the question that Leelavati Award is given by which organization? And the correct answer to this question is the AICTE, All India Council of Technical Education. You can see this. Based on the theme of women empowerment, AICTE finalized the winners of Leelavati Awards 2020 from a total of 456 entries. Okay, so there are 6 themes or 6 sub-themes on which these awards are given. And these are women's health, self-defense, sanitation and hygiene, literacy, women entrepreneurship, and legal awareness. These are the 6 sub-themes. Okay. Now, let's move on to the 11th question. And the 11th question says, 2-week Bali Katan shoulder to shoulder military exercise is being conducted between which 2 countries? So the 2 nations are doing a joint military exercise and the name is Bali Katan. And you have to tell which are these 2 countries, and your options are USA and Australia, USA and Japan, USA and Philippines, Australia and Japan, and last is India and Philippines. So the correct answer to this question is C, USA and Philippines are doing this joint exercise. Okay, you can see this article from 11th April and it says Philippines, United States of America to begin 2-week joint Bali Katan exercise on Monday. So it's a joint military exercise where the 2 nations will participate to do a mock drill and all that. Okay. Now, let's move on to the question number 12. And the question number 12, we have discussed about this in previous slides also. So I think it will be very easy for you to answer this question. Based on the theme of women empowerment, AICTE finalized the winners of Leelavati Awards 2020 from From 6 sub-themes, which one is not among the such sub-theme? Okay. Please remember one thing, whenever you are reading an exam, if you get the word not, please you can say underline it at least, because it will help you mark the correct answer. Okay. And your options are women's health, self-defense, self-employment, sanitation and hygiene, and women entrepreneurship. So the correct answer is C, self-employment. You know why? Because if you see in the previous slides, we have not talked about self-employment here. There is no self-employment in this 6 sub-themes. Okay, so these are the 6 sub-themes in which self-employment is not there. So in fact, this is the correct answer. Okay. Now, please press the like button if you like the video, because whenever you press the like button, we feel motivated to come up with a very good quality content for you. Okay, because we take a lot of hard work to make such good quality content. Okay, share with others, comment, subscribe the channel. You can give some suggestions also. Now, the 13th question says, renowned personality Ramsay Clark passed away recently. He was a former Attorney General of which country? And your options are USA, England, France, Germany, and Australia. Okay, what is an Attorney General? In short, I would say he is a senior lawyer of central government. Okay, in India, we have also Attorney General. So the senior most lawyer of the central government in India is also called as Attorney General. So the correct answer to this question is A, USA. So this guy was Ramsay Clark actually, and he died very recently. You can see the A is the correct answer. And the Indian, you can say Economic Times article dated 11th April 2021 says, Ramsay Clark, former US Attorney General and human rights activist, dead at 93. So he was a very senior person. Okay. Now, moving on to the 14th question, and I hope that if you are a film lover, you must be knowing about the BAFTA, British Academy Film Television Awards. Which film has won the Best Picture at the BAFTA 2021? And your options are Lost Girl, Nomadland, The Call of the Wild, Bloodshot, and The Last Uncle Frank. Okay, so please be aware whenever you find this type, for example, BAFTA or Oscar awards, sometimes called as Academy Awards. These are very important actually. Academy Awards, sometimes called as. So whenever such type of awards comes, please try to remember it. Okay. And Nobel Peace Prize is also important, but it is not related to cinema. So the correct answer to this question is B actually. Nomadland is the right answer. Now, moving on to the 5th question, and the 5th question says, which initiative has been launched by the Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank to implement National Education Policy 2020? See, what happened was, let's talk a little bit about National Education Policy. In 1968, we had the first National Education Policy actually. And in 1986, we had another National Education Policy called National Education Policy. You can say National Education Policy 2, which was slightly amended, I guess, somewhere in 1992. And in 2020, after many years, we have the new National Education Policy, and we call it as National Education Policy 2020. So it was in news last year, I guess, in October, August, September. Okay. So in order to implement this National Education Policy, the governments are taking various steps. Okay. And one of those various steps is this launching of this scheme. And you can say the correct answer to this question is A, Sarthak. Please remember it has Q in the last. And you can say this article from Hindustan Times dated 9th April 2021. And it says Education Minister launches implementation plan Sarthak for school education. Okay. And what does Sarthak stands for? Students and Teachers Holistic Advance through Quality Education. That is why it is Q here in the last and not K. Students and Teachers Holistic Advancement through Quality Education. Okay. Now, you can go and read more about it, what exactly it is. We are not going in detail. Now, let's move on to the 16th question. And the 16th question says, which country hosted the basic ministerial meeting on climate change? Okay. So, your options are Singapore, India, China, Brazil, and South Africa. The correct answer to this question is of course B, India. Okay, so you can see here this India was the host of the 30th basic ministerial meeting chaired by the Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar. So he is the current Environment Minister of India. So now you will be thinking of, sir, what exactly is basic, right? So the basic is this actually. Like we have BRICS, you must have heard about BRICS. You can say 5-member nation bloc, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Similarly, we have SAARC. In the similar fashion, we have BIMSTEC. And in the similar fashion, we have something called as BASIC, which is rarely you find in newspaper. But yes, it sometimes becomes important also. And the 4 nations are Brazil, South Africa, India, and China. So you can remember like this. Brazil, BA stands for Brazil, then South Africa, India, and China. Okay, so these 4 nations comprises of a group called as BASIC. It is not very famous, but still you should be knowing it. Okay. Now, so this was all about the basic countries. Now let's move on to the question number 17. And the question number 17 says, which becomes the first country to ratify the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, the world's largest free trade agreement led by China? And your options are Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, and Indonesia. Please be cautious. This is a concept called as ratify. There are 2 things that happens in an international agreement. One is called as signed and another is called as ratified. So if a country signs an agreement, that is not final. Okay, for example, in this case, India came out from RCEP actually. I'll explain you in short why. So if a country signs an agreement, it is not that it has come up to the agreement. It means it is not the case that it will have to follow the agreement unless and until it ratifies it. And there are different reasons. What is the difference between signing the agreement and ratifying the agreement? We are not going here in detail actually. Okay. So the first step is signing and the second step you can say is ratifying. So once a country ratifies an agreement, then only it becomes, you can say, binding. Okay. And the correct answer to this question is exactly C. Singapore is the right answer. You can see the Jakarta Post says 10th April 2021 is the article. Singapore becomes first country to ratify RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. So now you'll be thinking of what exactly is RCEP. Okay, so let me explain. First of all, you have to understand it like this, that earlier there was a plan like this: 10 plus 4 plus 2 is equal to 16 nations. Okay, but India was not in mood, so now it has become 15 nations. So it is a 15 nations group or block, you can say, right? And these are the countries: Austria, Brunei, Cambodia, China. You can pause the video and you can read. So you can see the 15 member nations, or about which comprise of about 30% of the world's population. Okay, so this is a FTA. It means free trade agreement. So what is free trade agreement? Under this agreement, if country signs an agreement, then they have to reduce the taxes or tariffs. It means if a product is being, let's say for example, let me explain you in short. If X and Y both are member of a free trade agreement, then if X is exporting something to the Y, then Y is supposed not to impose any taxes. And if Y is sending something to the X exporting, then X is not supposed to impose any tax. This is the variant of free trade agreement or barrier free agreement. Okay. Is it clear? So these are the members of RCEP. Why I'm explaining a little bit? Because it becomes important. RCEP is very important. So why I have written like this: 10 plus 3 plus 2 is equal to 15, because these 10 are the members of ASEAN. Okay, and these two you can remember it very easily, and these 3 also. So that is why earlier it was 10 plus 4 plus 2. Okay. And now it has become 10 plus 3 plus 2. Okay, go and read more about it. I am not explaining it because the video will become longer. Okay, so these are the member states. And I hope that you would have liked this video. So please, if you have any query, please call on this number. So we'll be having some new batches also. If you any of your you can say friend is preparing for CLAT, we have the batches for CLAT, and we have free videos available, various free videos available on YouTube channel also. So for query, you can call on these numbers. And I hope that you would have liked the video. And thanks for watching.